All right.
Hello,
Yep, you go. You go.
I got it this time.
So we're going to talk about Chainsaw Man, obviously. The
Mhm.
anime is not out yet, so we read the manga. There might be a sequel, or there might not be. We don't really know.
I think we
Um,
do. I think it was confirmed.
is it okay?
Mhm.
Do we know when it's coming out?
I don't think so.
Uh, I think at some point this year, basically.
Yeah, summer 2022.
I see.
Well, good.
So, all right. Where do we start? I guess did you guys all like Chainsaw Man? Let's start with you, Todd Agent.
Yeah, I did.
Um,
I did. Yes, it's entertaining
Mhm.
and stylish. There you go.
mhm. So I guess my I don't know I don't know if I'm the only one who had this issue, but I thought that the pacing was too fast. Like um it I don't know, like there wasn't enough downtime between the different arcs. Um, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would say you definitely notice that once one arc ends and another one starts. It's like we've defeated the devil. Then it's like a time skip of like a week or something. But there's nothing there's nothing to sort of signal that. So it's kind of like confusing for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Like,
What
yeah.
would they have done with the downtime? Flesh out the characters?
Yeah, for example, like explain, for example, like the gun devil, sorry, I mean, the bomb devil said that, or somebody said that she is the gun devil's partner or something. But we don't, like, that's just mentioned and then it's never brought up again. Maybe they could have spent some time explaining what that was about a bit. Um,
Well, on one side, I agree that some things could have been handled better, but like with more detail and so on and so forth. But yeah, let's take this in context. We always need about anime series and manga series never fucking ending. You know what I mean? And meandering with like filler and so on and so forth. This time, probably because he wasn't sure if he was even going to finish it or something like that, or for a series or reason that we don't really know, let us say. This time they did a story on the, on point. No time wasted, at least.
yeah. I guess another issue, which some might say, is that maybe the Chainsaw Man is a bit overpowered. Like because he's basically immortal, except if somebody, I guess, robs him of his heart, literally. So that might take away some of the tension, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say, well, he's immortal, but the other characters are not. So so you still care, I guess. Um,
Well, there's a long and beloved tradition in Japanese media of having overpowered fucking main characters. So I guess I agree, but
What do you mean by he's immortal? Like the actual devil? Because all the devils are, in a way, immortal.
yeah.
well, yes, they go back to hell, and when they die in hell, they come back here. That is an interesting dynamic, at least inside of the world building.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess they're immortal as well. I don't know if that evens out.
Mhm.
To have both sides be immortal, if that evens out the thing. I guess. Yeah.
Nothing. The interesting part is this power of Chainsawman has that he can erase objects erase concepts rather, by killing the corresponding demon, which makes him it changes the context of the world building basically, because you start in the very beginning to understand how the metaphysics of this world would work basically, but almost immediately, there is the exception, which is, I suppose, what makes the protagonist special.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's not exact. I wouldn't say that necessarily a bad thing. Like, for example, some people think that if you have like a character who is like the chosen one or whatever, who is special,
Mhm.
that means it's a bad thing. I don't think so necessarily.
No, I think stuff is handled pretty well here. It's not necessarily a bad thing, let us say.
So, did you guys feel like Chainsaw Man did anything particularly original? I mean, like, I guess that that's the thing about the Chainsaw Man being able to erase uh, certain concepts or whatever. But other than that, like, you
Yeah.
know,
Hello?
hello, yeah.
Hello?
We can't hear you properly, Toad Agent. Something wrong with you?
Mhm.
Yeah, your connection must be a bit slow.
I just dropped out for a bit. It's fine. That's odd.
Um, I,
I tried. I'll see.
I think it's okay now. It's okay now. What were you going to say?
Oh, is it? Oh, no, I wasn't gonna say anything. I just dropped out for a bit. I could like really well.
Oh, I see. So I guess the question is, did any of you feel like Chainsaw Man did anything original?
Um, not really. I guess it's more like it uses a combination of pre-established elements quite well. And that's basically it, really.
Hmm.
I mean, not one element that's original, but the dynamic between them, I think that's quite unique.
The dynamic between who?
The smaller elements, the components, the combination. I mean,
Yes, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I would agree that while no particular element taken in by itself is particularly original, they gain a lot by being presented like that in this combination, and through the craft of writing of the author.
So
Yeah. I also think it benefits from having a couple of a couple of very good characters. I think without characters like Power, then I don't think this manga would have been as popular or anywhere near as popular. You know. Yeah, I think, but that's usually that's usually how it goes. Where it's not really like the story that matters; it's more about how good your characters are and how good the interactions between the characters are, basically.
mm.
Mhm.
So apparently this was published in Shonen Jump, which I guess makes this a shonen series.
Yeah.
Did you feel like when compared to the usual shonen that there was more like I guess fetishistic sexual stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what about the Go? like the violence. Did you also feel that it was a bit higher than the usual shonen, or more or less the same?
Higher. I mean, I don't really read or watch what shonen. I'd say higher.
Yeah, because I guess when I'm thinking of the general shonen, I'm thinking of something like Hunter x Hunter or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter x Hunter has its moments of moral reprehensibility sometimes, like this guy. Yeah, we learned from him. We are going to let him live, although he's a serial killer, right?
Yeah, but I guess that there isn't a lot of stuff like okay, so like Maki masking uh, Denji to be her dog or whatever, of which I don't know. um,
Yes. Yes. So, woof indeed. Yeah.
And
Or how the bomb devil has like a choker, and when she pulls it, she like turns into like a devil. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
yeah, I mean, some people seem to like so here the person who was here earlier on this chat as well, for example, seemed to like put off watching Chainsawman because like maybe it's just for simps or whatever, because of all those memes. I can show some. I think
Yeah.
there's someone
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to introduce a stream, I would introduce it as Chainsaw Man, Deji's quest to not simp, basically. But yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I think it's clear to me that this whole story is basically a story of Deji learning sort of how to self-actualize, right? And in sort of a very roundabout way, because I don't, I don't, I've forgotten who made that video, but it's like constantly referenced to. I may have to mute myself. Sorry, guys.
so. Did he say that he had to mute himself or something?
Yeah, I
oh,
think so.
okay, I hope. Well,
Um.
I wanted to say that I don't think the characters are the reason this series is as popular as it is. Like Fire Punch is still pretty popular, but there's not many good characters in there except the main character.
So why
Or
do you?
maybe
yeah,
it's so much more popular than that.
So why do you think? Then why do you think if it's not for the characters, then why do you think CSM got popular?
More popular than Fire Punch. It's more shonen-like and more comedic.
yeah.
I haven't read Fire Punch, so Fire Punch is another manga by the same author, which I believe is finished, completed.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess so. I watched a bunch of reviews, including the one by Prince on this server, and one of the common things which I found, which people like the series for, is that they thought that they related to the protagonist's motives, and like because it like a lot of the time in shonen, um, like the goal that the characters have is like some huge thing, like being the very best or whatever, you know.
Oh, hello. I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. So, as I was saying, what's it called? It's Pavlov's hierarchy of needs, right? I think someone on this server like made a video where they put that out.
Yeah, that was Prince. Yeah.
Right, and it's Prince, and it's constantly referenced to, or especially in the case of Deji, that he will his needs are like a very sort of base level to begin with, where he just wants food, like money, and just a basic means to survive, and that's how he's sort of initially bound to oh no, I forgot everyone's names. Isn't it Makima?
The woman.
Anyway,
Yeah, the woman is Makima, the Dom, or whatever, the devil of domination.
yeah. But slowly he sort of develops, and he sort of, I don't know, he sort of climbs up the pyramid, and in the end, after about 95% of the characters are picked off, he finally learns how to self-actualize, and he sort of escapes from the groups of women, basically. Yeah, so I would say this is actually like a anti-simp manga.
Yes, it is a developmental kind of story in a way, because the journey of the protagonist is basically that he begins as a dog, more or less. Even his soul is a dog, because you remember, no, that little thing, and he meets first a dog owner, basically. But then he develops as a person by meeting other characters and so on and so forth, until he becomes his own man, basically. That is the more or less the narrative which is being proposed, and his own becoming his own man in the end helps the dog owner too, in a way, even if the rules for the reincarnation are somewhat interesting in this universe, but basically in the end, the relationship between the two changes, we could say, without spoiling anything. And this makes you hope for the series. This makes you hope to see that dynamic in the sequel. Let us say.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was just making agreement noises.
I see. But I mean, like, so I guess what Audition was saying is that so usually in most other like if you compare compare this to someone like, say, Captain Harlock, like he's already his own man at the start of the story. So yeah. So I
expect different here. He starts as a simp. We all agree.
Yeah, but I guess you guys must remember that scene when so he basically, so given that we're talking about his motivations, like where he gets on his knees in front of the old man, um, the oldest devil hunter or whatever, in the organization, and he's like, I want to eat steak every day, and, and
Yeah.
Yes, it paints a clean picture of it.
So many women.
And he also says like so basically there's a bunch of women on TV being like oh how good, how cool is Chainsawman now that he's a hero or whatever, and he's like I want 10 of them, as in 10 girlfriends or 10 women. So I mean, it's I guess you're not supposed to take that literally, is it? Oh, because if that is the case, it's
well,
not. No.
Yeah. I think he actually he actually desires that. Right. I
Your audio is going to shit again.
Yeah.
That's like wrong. And it's sort of right up to the end that he's still sort of simping for a Makima, right? A long time to actually this particular area I can't walk in. Can you hear me now? Is this fine? Hello?
Yeah. So I didn't hear what you said at the start. What did you say?
Okay.
Oh, you're breaking up again.
Yeah.
You're breaking. Sorry. Sorry, her agent, but it's not working.
Can you try reconnecting again?
Yeah. I think it would be better if you tried that. Yeah, I'll tell him in the chat, so maybe he will see that if I do that.
Yeah, and again, really?
We didn't hear anything you said till now.
Right.
Sorry.
Someone else talk. All right. Okay. I think I'm back.
You're back. Yeah.
If I can hear you properly, then you can hear me properly. All right. Yeah. Yes. Where Digi is, is still even simping for Makim. So it really does take him a long time to actually figure out what he should really be doing. So yeah, like when he says that I want like 10 women or something, I think at that point he's still he still does truly want that because he's still like part dog, right? And in that situation, he's brought extremely low by Makima, and so all his more nobler faculties are sort of being suppressed, right? And Makima has almost defeated him basically.
Because I mean, I don't know. Did you read it that way too, Thoughts?
Well, yes, in part it's in course of development in that part, I suppose. I think he doesn't reach the real ending of his character arc until his deal with Makima, and they talk about bad movies, and she said, "In the perfect world, there will be no bad movies." And he realizes that the moment he had with her, that he thought he was precious and so on and so forth, didn't mean anything to her because she's a narcissist, basically. She's and that moment he realizes what he has to do, basically. I think that is the culmination. That is the moment in which his character arc ends. Let us say. Whatever happens before is still in the phase of development. Let's say.
Yeah, I think that's a good explanation for that. Why they are talking about bad movies or something. It wasn't that.
I have heard people saying like, "What the fuck is this conversation they having here?" while deciding if killing one another or not. But it made sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I did feel like it was weird. It sort of made sense.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I thought more like he was going for like. I don't know, like you want a perfect world that is not real, that sort of angle which anime likes to go on. Like you always have the villain who wants to create a perfect world or whatever. I'm
having a face to focus flashbacks right now.
Perhaps, but sorry, go on.
Oh, nothing. It's fine. I was just it just reminds me of last week's topic.
Fate
So that's
Apocrypha.
very important.
Yeah, because the villain there as well was trying to create like a utopia essentially, right?
Yeah. But some a good for nothing dragon can just stop his plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you could compare them sort of. I mean, they both kind of start.
No.
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah, I think the problem that people have with characters like Sieg from Fate Apocrypha is that like he goes like he goes straight ahead from like not having a motivation for anything to like I'm going to sacrifice myself for others, like for the world or whatever, like for all sorts of lofty motivations, straight out of like being nothing essentially.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. Whereas if Sieg was just simping for a Joan of Arc, then that would have made way more sense. Which is something Chainsawman gets right. I mean, wherein it's not like the first thing you're going to I think most people are really going to fight for is something more granular, right? In that sense.
It's not that I think people have something inherently against like characters going for something grand, but like
No.
like it's almost like that motivation kind of needs to be earned as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works best when we can see, we can see character growing up, basically when it is conveyed in the narrative, like stuff like One Piece. We start that I want to be the best pirate, okay, and to be the best pirate, I have to get One Piece, the treasure of the biggest pirate. All right, makes sense, and this never changes, and arguably you can say the psychology of the characters never changes. Well, all that happens is that stuff happens to them, and that what you thought was just let's go take the One Piece and this will make me the best pirate becomes I have to destroy this fucking world to become the best pirate. I have to undo decades of political oppressions and so on and so forth, which it's not focused on character writing basically. Here it is, but again, we have said so. It is written very hastily sometimes, so the effect isn't perhaps 100% of the time very well felt in some things, but I mean, it is an attempt. It goes beyond the usual shonen thing.
Yeah, where like I don't know, like I get the like the usual shonen when I'm thinking imagining of it, it's like something as you said, like I'm either it's like I don't know, like I'm going to like it's some selfless motive, or it's like I'm going to be the best. In many other words, at whatever the series is kind of based on, and I guess like I don't know, like if it's about like summoning spirits and getting them to fight each other, then yeah. Anyway, so like I guess so by the end, I guess I don't know. Like, what do you think the motivations of the protagonist are by the end, Toad Agent?
Like interesting. I mean, I'd say he definitely wants to help help his friends, but also sort of he wants some revenge as well, right? Because he feels deeply betrayed by Maka when she reveals herself to him, right? And so he just wants payback, right? I mean, that's what I can gather. But maybe there's something deeper.
He didn't come off as particularly vengeful to me, at least.
That came up to me a bit like the revenge was there was a getting back to her, but it was also a sort of redemption arc, basically, that she didn't cooperate with the redemption arc. She had to die, but it is sort of she has become like this because of circumstances and so on and so forth. A completely different upbringing the next time she comes back, basically, would make a completely different. Will make a completely different person. She's not like this for determinist reasons. You know what I mean? In the end, I think he wants to, in a way, it is revenge, but it is revenge against. It's like getting out of an abusive relationship, more or less. You don't really exactly want revenge against the girl. You want revenge against the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess in terms of criticisms, did you guys feel like the gun devil was like he was brought up to be like this huge threat or whatever, but like
I don't know. The Gun Devil was pretty interesting as a concept, and what you saw of the Gun Devil was pretty good as well. But I guess it was all right if because they wanted to use the Gun Devil as a way to sort of prop up how bad the Manga is, right? But at the same time, it did feel a bit anticlimactic, sort of talking up the Gun Devil this whole time, and then when the Gun Devil turns up, it's sort of like it's not really this big deal.
Yeah, because it kind of like became more about like it's like it's suddenly at that point it seemed to me like the Chainsawman became like the center of the whole story, and yeah. Okay, what else is there to say?
There was a sort of antagonist and protagonist shift, more or less, you could say, in the sense that a plot that seemed to be about the world building revealed to be about the relationship between two characters, more or less.
So another criticism would be that, like, I've heard this criticism made against by that anime snob against what's the thing called Tokyo Ghoul, that basically so in that world, like, there are ghouls, quote unquote, so basically man-eating monsters, but despite that, the world is basically the same as our world, except like there happen to be ghouls, but there's nothing special other than that. Did you feel like did you feel like that in Chainsaw Man too, that like there are these devils everywhere, but like the world is basically the same? Like, shouldn't the world be developed in a different way if
well, it seems like the return of the devils, like a phenomena that people know about and interact with, has been pretty recent. But even in that, there has been like literal changes in the timeline and in the people collective memories. Like the Soviet Union is still up, for instance. Nobody knows what a certain Austrian painter did because it was erased and so on and so forth. So I mean, it makes a certain amount of sense if you assume, which is not said outright, as far as I remember, but if you assume that these devils and demons and so on and so forth have become have returned into activity, let us say, that you can understand, that you can perceive as humans, as normal humans recently.
Come to think of it, like the fact that the Soviet Union was still around is another reason. It's another thing which kind of reminded me of why this kind of reminded me of Devilman a bit. But that's a different thing because I think the Soviet Union was around back when Gonagai
Yeah, it was around at the
actually
time
around.
when.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, you say that that the World War II like is erased from people's consciousness and whatever, but like I don't like. It's still okay. So it's still Japan. Like it's still modern day Japan. Whatever.
Yes. Again, perhaps the changes haven't started piling up. If Chainsawman kills the gun demon permanently and erases him, you would have a universe in which nobody knows what a gun is anymore. That could happen, you know. It's on the table, let's say.
Yeah. In terms of world building, I guess another question I had was so Makima is a devil, not a devil man, right?
Yeah.
But then why is it her reincarnation? They don't say whether it's a devil man or a devil or whatever. I guess we just
okay.
I guess we just have to assume that like higher level devils can just appear as humans. I guess.
Well, we can, but there is the darkness. There is the darkness devil. You know.
What was the darkness devil again? I can't remember.
It was fucking Cthulhu on steroid. That is the fear of the dark that everyone has. It is the reason people fear the dark and so on and so forth.
Was that what happened in the Santa Claus?
When there's the astronauts and so on and so forth, all dead and praying on a line, and there's this abomination in the end. That's the guy.
I see. Because I didn't understand what the hell actually happened in the Santa Claus arc. So Santa Claus is this killer, so this devil hunter or devil man or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
And he has a body double in the form of his daughter or something, another woman on a wheelchair. And what the like? Did he want to like summon the devil of darkness or something? What happened there?
I think they wanted to stop the devil of darkness from doing exactly what is. I didn't understand, but basically they disturbed him more or less.
Yeah, because the devil of darkness just came out of nowhere, I just saw that. I mean, it looked pretty, like the space suits all in a praying position and all that.
This is interesting because it is, in my opinion, at least a good example of Lovecraftian order in manga, because it just arrives with no context. People know roughly what the hell he is, but they don't understand the details of his nature and so on and so forth, and he messes up the plot. And then he goes away because he's not understandable. He's a force of nature more than a character. Sort of like Cthulhu, basically. Cthulhu doesn't monologue about his motivations in sending dreams to people and so on and so forth. Cthulhu is dead but dreaming and sends dreams to people. That's it. That's as far as you can understand with a human brain.
So I think there was the occasional comedy, and my favorite comedic moment was when when Chainsawman. I almost said when Devilman, but when Chainsawman went berserk and he started going on a date with Kobe like a fucked up date. Where like
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
yeah, that was really
Yeah.
funny. He beheads the hamburger guy, the guy with the
Yeah, awesome.
yeah, and then Coben is left dancing in front of I think it's one of those arcade games where you have to dance or whatever, and
Yeah.
and then Makima and Chainsawman are fighting, and she's like, I haven't got anything to do with this, but no. Yeah. I generally found her a funny character overall, because like she seemed kind of crazy to begin with, but in a funny way. But I don't know. I don't know. They must pay quite a lot to these people, because like it doesn't seem like the government is forcing these people to be like, devil hunters or whatever. Yeah. Let's see.
No. Yeah, I think I'll take this opportunity to talk about my favourite sort of subplot. It's the sub story where they're trapped in a apartment, or on a floor of apartments, and they can't go above or below this floor of this building, and the whole team and you could just watch how each member of the team deals with this level of terror and being trapped. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And it gets resolved in a very violent and chaotic way, where when it sort of shows that Deji really is like kind of crazy. I quite I quite like that, because it put across the actual reality of what it means to be a devil hunter, right? And you just get like a lot of really great character moments, like when Power eats all the food, and she openly lies about like someone else eating it, and when and when the God, I forgot her name. The date girl. She tries to kill Deji.
Yeah.
Like, but she sort of does it like really fast. Like it's just instantaneous. If you if you kill the Chainsawman, we'll set you all free. And she's all like, quickly kill him.
I mean, another funny moment involving her, of course, and Power is when Power drives her little.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she goes from it's your fault because it was your car to it was all me. I killed the devil man. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, just the open blazing lies, and like everyone knows she's lying, but it's just so funny.
Yeah, I like that's other scenes with Pava, like when she says that she has high IQ, and like she keeps on saying like she starts at about 100, which we don't know, she's probably lying, and the other guy says, well, my IQ is 100 as well, and then she's like, no, actually it's 230. Yeah. Generally a funny character, or how like I guess briefly about that scene in we can go to talk about Power's character, but about the scene in that hotel. I guess one thing which I sort of did not like is that so like if you remember thoughts, like you criticized what's it called again, that isekai with the guy called Subaru ReZero. because
yeah.
the protagonist is suffering, and and he keeps on like coming back to life, but he's suffering, so we are supposed to care about it.
Yeah,
The,
you know,
Hmm.
there is no real stake in a sense.
And did you feel like the same in that scene as well? Because you could, the Devil Man can't die. I mean, the Chainsaw Man can't die. Yeah, he can just.
You know,
Yeah,
he can't die
right.
as Chainsawman, but he can die as our beloved protagonist, basically.
Mhm. I
Because the incarnation completes basically if he's dead, he goes to hell and returns as another person entirely. So I think the stakes are there. Like when power more when that happens to power later, that is pretty like it is framed as her sacrificing herself in a way.
Yeah, and she almost doesn't understand why. uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, because she's power, but I mean, in fact, she is in a way sacrificing herself because
and yeah, that is why she's
the
best girl.
interaction between people and supernatural beings and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So I guess we could talk about Power next, best girl or whatever. I think we would all agree. Is there any dissent about that? Is the
I, sh- I should be contrarian and say Makima best girl, but
I
woof woof, so on and so forth. you know,
Yeah, I mean, we all know it's for the memes, but what do you
You know,
think? Then it's the best argument that can be made in favor of Makiman.
what's the what,
Yeah,
what's that Nietzsche quote where where he basically argues that stupider women are like better than smarter women.
yeah.
I forgot.
I posted it. I posted it on the server like a few days ago. Is that where you saw it? Because
Yeah. Uh, no, I guess obviously, I mean, none of it, like, there isn't like a perfect woman by any stretch of the imagination in this series.
yeah, I mean, Pava doesn't flush. I mean, come on. Um,
yeah.
Idiot, Um, it- oh God, what was the last thing you heard me say?
there
It is
isn't.
a bit of a Konosuba situation in which all the best girls are freaking trash, and so
Yeah.
what
So
to do with what we have.
it's kind of like the best of the worst is power, and I'll say why. Okay, firstly, even though she sort of like lies all the time, right?
Mhm.
And and so-
Yes, and hello.
she has a very strong anti-human stance, and and she's really just interested in who's gonna give her the most things, or who's winning, right? I mean, at one point she literally said, I'm on the side of whoever's winning, right? But like with that, there's this sort of pure honesty, right? And sort of what you see with the other women is that they have something to hide, or they have like this baggage with them, or they're just like hysterical. But with power, she's just this like um straightforward, um I don't know, predictable. Well, actually, well, no, she's unpredictable, I guess. But yeah, I think it's as I say, right? It's sort of inadvertently, she's like probably the most open and honest character of them all. Um, just because she's not very intelligent, right?
Yeah, I think she comes off more like as a sibling, um, kind of
Yeah,
character, especially towards the chains Denji, right? Because like when he gets to like feel up he's like, yeah, I don't fucking feel anything. Give me give me Makima or something. Yeah.
And I guess the relationship in the beginning is framed by both being under Makima's influence, basically. In that way, they consider one Makima's authority, basically, more or less, and everyone as being under her in more sense than in more sense than one, to be honest, and. In that context, I suppose, yes, she comes off like some sort of goofy big sister, basically, more than a romantic interest.
Yeah, because I think the reason why I don't know, is Makima's character disliked that much, but at least why I dislike her is because like she's not just evil but dishonest as well, right?
I don't dislike her as a character, as a, the her personality makes sense in the context of what she had to do and her power, basically, without spoiling too much. And it is implied and more or less stated that she would have been completely different under if shown affection, basically, instead of framing every relationship as powered with someone that could have taught her there to frame a relationship in terms of I don't want to say codependence, but because it's a bad word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I don't think Makima, if this is the point.
What were you going to say, Todd Agent?
I was going to say that Makima becomes a better character once she's revealed as a villain, because before then she's somewhat of like a Rin, sort of character where she's there to be Miss Perfect and to deliver exposition about what's going on, but I mean it is hinted at throughout the series that that there's way more going on with her than what she shows to people. And the effect that other characters are sort of writing things to each other so that she doesn't overhear, and that she's obviously this sinister figure, but when she finally is able to actually show that evil side to her, I think I just well obviously the mystique is gone, but her as a character improves, right? She stops being this sort of love interest and becomes the final challenge, right?
And another thing which I didn't get in the plot was so basically at the end Denji has to cannibalize a certain character, let's say just say Makima, whatever, in order to stop her. But how is he able to do, like if he killed her to cook her, then she would come back to life, right? So does that mean that he had to eat her while she was still alive? Because that's not really shown. If you get what I mean.
That's not really shown. Yes, I suppose there is a window of time in which he can complete the eating of her, basically, before the reincarnation starts, or more something like that. I don't think it's directly stated.
Because basically her power is that every time she's killed in a change for another life, somebody in Japan is going to like either get an illness or die. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think there are a lot of cool concepts that weren't explored very well, like how the US government can just sort of steal life force from its entire population.
So it's like almost like the demons, the devils are like acknowledging the authority of like the government, because in Makima's case, the reason why she has that power is because she made a deal with the Japanese Prime Minister, apparently.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Demons making deals is like a classic, you know what I mean? The rules are not then formalized in a piece of fiction, so probably like the prime minister, I'm speculating, but you could say that the prime minister has the spiritual authority to make a pact on behalf of the whole nation or something like that, being the prime minister.
That's basically the point. But it's again. By the way, Toad Agent, I don't think that so the American president doing. So what did he do that for? Like, was it to empower the gun devil or something? I can't remember.
I think it was like the. Yeah, I think it was a different devil. It wasn't like the devil of death or something. I can't remember. But he basically just takes off like 10 years from like everyone or something. But it doesn't work, and you know.
It doesn't amount to anything.
Like most central government's policy, it's sort of half worked, but you know.
I also
the problem still remains.
I also found it funny that like the way that he made the deal with the devil was like by talking out to a telephone.
Yeah. Like he's got death, like he's got death's phone number.
He has got a direct hotline as the US president to that. I see. Okay. So what else is there to say? So in terms of main characters, I guess the one that's left is Aki. Hanekawa, I think. His name was. Did you think that in his case there was any development? Because he, I don't know, like from the beginning, like so his problem, quote unquote, was that as a devil hunter, it was kind of implied that it was because like he couldn't every time one of his partners died or whatever, like he would cry or something. So he's not suited to be a devil hunter, unlike Denji and Pavo or whatever. Like the old man would say that this guy is not really suited. Like I think he would.
Yeah. He's too normal.
Yeah, I also think that he called him his pet as well. Like he told Makima, don't hurt my pets. The old man, because he doesn't like that. Let's see. Do you guys feel like his character had any development?
I suppose yes. I mean, it is not very focused on him, but I suppose by the end he has reached a point in which he can still be functional, basically.
I think so. Basically, I looked at the or rather, like when I was reading the manga, like on one of the pages, there were the results of the poll for the characters, and I think he was
Yeah.
number 1 or something, or number 2 or whatever, so pretty high.
He was there. I think Power was number 1. Number 2 was Makima.
Isn't that so?
I forget the rest.
And number 7, by the way, number 7 was Kobeni Ska. You know, the one that Power fucks up. That was number 7 on there.
It's a great character, yes.
Which model is it? If you know. No, you don't know. Okay. It looks like a mini or whatever. I don't know. I don't know that much about cars.
Oh yeah. The character. Sorry, the car is a character here. I just I wonder if it was like a cardboard box and they put the car there as like a joke, but people
yeah, people
just reflected it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like an online poll either. Like I think the polls in Japan for the manga, I think, are still like you still need to like send back, go to the post office and send back your vote.
Wow.
Imagine doing that for a shit post like that. Whatever. Let's. Yeah.
People used to be a lot more committed to the shit post.
So I think that basically covers all the main characters. Yeah, because when it comes to the other characters, I guess the least developed characters, I think, would be the Chinese woman, and her Devilman, and also the
Halloween.
That, and also the 4 siblings or whatever who came from the US or whatever, who could take on the appearance.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that they did was like, okay, they killed another bunch of side characters nobody cares about, and also they were useful for that gag involving Power and Kobeniska, but other than that, I kind of feel I kind of feel like so basically in that arc, everybody was coming for Chainsawman, so there were too many bad guys in one place. So
I suppose it served it served the plot by showing that the world is larger or something like that. I think that was the idea there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys. I have to go. I guess
Okay.
just because it's getting quite miserable out here. I don't want to get too wet. But yeah. Is it okay if I just give my final thoughts? No. Sure.
Yeah, and your score as well if you have one.
Okay.
So I think the strength and a few of the weaknesses comes from the format. It's very fast. You can sort of blast through a lot of storylines very quickly, and you get like a lot of great moments, great sort of character introductions very fast. At the same time, obviously, it doesn't really leave a lot of breathing room, and it can get confusing for that reason. I give this a 8 out of 10. It was entertaining. It's brought everything I like to one place. That's probably not really a great sentence, but there you go. That's my closing remarks. There you go. I'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But yeah, this was good.
Yep. So okay, farewell.
Yeah. See you guys.
See you. So
See you.
We haven't heard much from you, Judy. So I guess any particular thing in Chainsawman that you would like to point our attention to?
You talked earlier about the movie thing at the end when the Denji and Makima fight, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually cares about bad movies. What I think he cares about is the process by which Makima reaches that conclusion. I think he would have been on board with Makima being on top of the world and all that if Makima was a better person. But he's not sophisticated enough to put it into words.
Yeah.
But what his vision is that he and Makima both enjoyed that bad movie back then. Maybe he can explain why this is important, but he intrinsically knows that thing was good. And for Makima, like, it's just bad movies are just bad on paper in theory. He is convinced that Makima actually liked being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the point I wanted to express. Like, it's not that he doesn't want Makima to rule the world because he likes bad movies. It's that to him that was an important moment he passed with a person he really cared about. That he has romantic feelings for Makima. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty stated, I'd say.
I don't
But
think it was
to her,
emotional.
it was nothing. To her, it was nothing. And at that moment, he realizes, basically.
I don't think he's
That
stupid.
it was
I
nothing
think
to
she
her.
just doesn't have the words to explain it. And I don't think
Of course,
emotional
of course.
factor. I
Yeah.
think you are rational in that Makima is wrong about this one. And that Makima actually liked being there.
So yeah, and also I think it's connected to when he explained his strategy, quote unquote strategy to defeat Makima. So he divides himself into two, and basically explains that basically this proves that Makima was only interested in Chainsawman, not in Denji. And I guess the fact that she didn't really give a shit about their experience watching, their good experience watching a shitty movie, also proved that again she didn't give a shit about him, right? Yeah.
But he's right because in a way he's also saying that she's lying. That in reality she did like being there. Even if she expresses herself like that. But yes, the main problem is that Makima can only frame interpersonal relationship in the form of power. Either she rules above someone, or he rules above her, and this makes the interest for Chainsawman because it is the only being she can think about as an equal, because he has that particular power we spoke about. And
I also don't
the
think he
whole
had a
point
problem
of making her resurrect, reincarnate in another person in the end is to teach her that relationship don't have to be based on power dynamics.
No, what were you saying, Tudy?
I also don't think Denji had a problem with being subservient to Makima. I think he had a problem with her means of making him do that.
Yeah, because he didn't he didn't. I mean, he agreed at first, right, to be her dog or whatever. It's only.
What's the name of the kid of the new Makima? Nanima?
You mean the little girl?
Yes. What's her name?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but what about her?
I think in the next series, in the sequel, I think Denji will be subservient to her in a way a parent is to a kid. Like in a good way, not like he was to Makima.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what we hope for the development of the character, because he ends saying he will show her affection, and in a way it's saying like he's going to try to teach her that he likes to be subservient to Makima. It's okay, he says it, but it's It's that the moment he agrees to be subservient to Makima, to her when as she was in the manga in the course of the story, he ceases to be a relevant person. Basically, he's a dog, so he can't have the relationship he would want with her, and because she can only frame a relationship in the form of I rule or you rule, basically.
Yeah.
His relation with her was also more like a crush, more like a childish crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's So okay, what anything else you want to talk about, Judy?
In relation with anything or in general?
In general.
In general, with CSM, I guess.
The Horseman of Apocalypse thing and the correlation they made with Makima in Conquest.
Do you remember what he's talking about, Fox?
Well, why don't you start talking about what's interesting about it?
They mentioned the rest of the Horsemen and how Makima wants to deal with them, and there are parallels drawn between Makima and the first of the Horsemen. The what's his name? Not Conquest. Conquest is a translation.
Mm-hmm.
First. I don't remember what the first one was.
Well, there is, famine, death,
sure it's supposed to be
pestilence, and
Makima.
war. Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure like the translation of her name of the devil, it's control, domination, and conquest in this order.
Oh yeah.
So I always thought the prequel will be about the rest of the Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sequel.
The sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I did it kind of feel like Chainsawman is kind of a prelude, and it ended on a cliffhanger a bit. Or like I don't know. Did it feel like a complete story to you guys?
Yes.
Well, it completed the character arc of the protagonist, so he has to begin a new character arc next time.
Yeah.
It's how stuff is done when it's done well. You don't have you don't have characters regressing to their previous status quo when you make a sequel. If you know what you are doing in general, you know what I mean. I'm thinking about fucking Sonic and fucking Shadows the Hedgehog. That is as need for another day.
I mean, what about the setting? Did you feel like the setting was reset or something, or nothing really changed? Like the world is still the same, blah blah blah. Or do you think that's it?
The situation overall has changed a bit, but the world was since the beginning bigger than Makima's plans, which was part of was part of why she was an interesting character because there were still a lot of things outside of her control, of her capacity to plan, let us say, like the demon of darkness, for instance. She can think about making a new world all she wants, but as long as that guy is around, it will be pretty difficult. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, you said the devil of darkness, right? Yeah. Yeah, and let's see.
By the way, I see what you were meaning before, like the Japanese. Yes, the horseman is the fourth horseman is war, basically, which is conveyed as conquest, basically in here, and apparently I've seen the wiki now. Apparently, it was written as Shinai, as domination, which is the power of Makima's power. Yes.
Isn't the first one?
All the sequels will be about the other three.
What is the first one? If you're looking at the list,
hmm The other three traditionally are pestilence, famine, and death.
He's asking about the fourth one. So the fourth
It's
one is domination, right? You said. No.
Yes.
Hmm.
This is traditionally war, here conveyed as the domination, as Shinai.
That's not exactly how I remember it, but okay.
hmm
Yeah, I guess the biggest worry when it comes to a sequel, of course, is especially in shonen is power creep. Because I don't know, like I mean, I guess the kind of people must know what Denji's weakness, that it's his heart, I guess, by this point. So there's that. I don't know. I'm kind of worried that it will end up like Battle Angel Alita, where like the sequels are like just spinning the wheels in one place, except the setting is different. Whatever. Let's see. Um, did that explain how did Aki become the Gun Devil, or his corpse or whatever? Because Aki shows up at Denji's place as the Gun Devil, right?
Yeah, basically. I don't remember if it's explained how exactly that happened, to be honest.
No, I don't think so, but I don't really care, to be honest, about the mechanics of the transformation.
Yeah, it's just not good world building. That's all, I guess you could say. The powers sometimes don't make sense. I guess if you just care about the themes, then that's not a problem. And it looks cool. I don't know. Let's see. What else is there? Yeah, the bureau. I thought at first it was going to be a bigger deal, but yeah, I just didn't most of it get killed like early on or whatever. Like they weren't able really to put up much of a fight most of the time, it seems. Let's see.
It fell a bit on the wayside.
Okay.
By the way, I cared about the horsemen because I actually believe they will show up later in the story. But I've seen other theories of like the demiurge and the hierarchy of angels, so but I don't believe that will ever show up.
No, that is interesting because in a way Mahima has a bit of a role of the Gnostic demiurge in a way, because if you notice, the character under control are named after and the angelic hierarchy, like Seraphim, Virtue, Dominion, Power, Angel, Prince, which is Principates, Beam, which is Cherubim, because Cherubim means beams of light, basically, and Galaim, thrones, basically. So
Yeah,
in a way, she has a similar role, in a sense.
I've seen those, but I don't think those will go anywhere. I think they are more like references of parallels. The horsemen actually believe will show up as characters later in the story. That's why I was more concerned with that.
No, I agree. I don't think it will go particularly in that direction. I think it was meant as an analogy to explain Makima's role, basically. She is a bit of the demiurge, like.
I don't think we know her full plan. No, beyond being eaten by Deji, I don't think we know, right? Do we know her full plan? I don't think we do, right?
No, I don't think we do.
I think she was fine. I think she said to the old man that she was fine either dominating, being able to defeat the the Chainsawman, or being dominated by it. Though it sounded more like she was expecting to be dominated by it almost.
Well, yes, she's an only flame relationship in that way. That is, if the Chainsaw Man if she proves herself superior to the Chainsawman, she will dominate him, and the other way around in the reverse. That's all there is to her when we talk about interpersonal relationship, basically.
By the way, you asked about unique things. I don't think there's any characters with this power in fiction.
You mean
Like,
I don't think so,
the Devilman's the Chainsaw Man's power of erasing concepts, words, or whatever.
I like the power of the control devil. The fact that he has to feel superior to you in order to control you.
Oh yeah.
That
That is a very interesting way to frame. Like in a way, it's in a way you can say it's mind control. It's a bit it's been done, but it's an interesting way to frame it. Basically, that the power derives from the person's perceptions, basically. A bit again, like the Demiurge thinks he's the real god in Gnosticism.
Yeah, and of course it's kind of implied that the devils only exist because of the people's perception of them, as in because they're afraid of something. That's what creates the devil, and that is why when
it is a bit of a postmodern theme that exists in many pieces of media of the supernatural being basically psychological because it exists through perception, let us say, through, in this case, fear, more or less.
Yeah, exactly. When a Chainsaw Man, like, he becomes popular or whatever for saving people, and people are less scared of him, he becomes less powerful, right? Yeah, which is it kind of reminded me another trope, which is of the gods deriving their power from the devotion of their followers. But this is kind of a twist on it because this is more like the devils get their power from the fear of the thing rather than
I don't think that's the full story.
The fear of the character, but of the thing he represents.
So basically, I think the gun devil should also be reincarnated, right? So they didn't really defeat it. Right?
Yeah, I suppose it could reincarnate too.
Does that make the progress that the characters have made feel a little bit meaningless? I guess because they keep on defeating them, but they keep on coming back.
No, because I don't actually care about the devils. I care about the person. Like I don't care about the chainsaw. I care about Denji.
Yeah,
Same with the bunker. I don't care that if nobody is there.
I mean, but like they worked so hard to achieve a goal, but like it keeps on getting undone. If you get what I mean. Yeah, I guess. So
I think this is part of the theme that those characters and the world in general, through this supernatural element, is a bit of blocked in a recursion kind of situation.
So Diogenes in the chat is saying CSM is basically style of a substance, over the top violence with the rule of cool. Yeah. Okay. But apparently he's still on the fence. Yeah. On the fence about it. So I guess is it style over substance? Violence with the rule of cool? I guess you can't argue against there being a rule of cool. To be honest.
No. We can't argue against it being a lot of rule of cool in there. Many things have been done as fan service in there. Like you can't deny. But I don't know. I think it's a step up. It's a step above the great majority of shonens around. To be honest, at the very least, due to the character writing and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Like perhaps jaded because I'm accustomed to people like Luffy being the freaking same for the 2000 chapters and so on and so forth. But
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I don't think many characters in Chainsawman have that much development. Maybe except Power.
Yeah,
And Denji.
yeah. Basically, Pavel and Denji. I guess. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, what are you going to say? Sorry, Fox.
no, I was agreeing. I say mostly.
So
He says now, the trip into hell is prime example of style over substance. I don't know. Yeah, it was made for it was made as a bit of fan service to show you a cool thing, but I don't know. I think it served the narrative purpose of showing you how this world works.
Mhm. I see.
Let me ask him, what do you think of the darkness there?
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
think.
he's a character, the Dark Devil. He's more like a force of nature. Like, what can you say?
I think so. The problem is like that a lot of people think basically like the people at the R rational subreddit.
Like, he probably had motivation, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's the point I was making earlier about
I think some people want everything to be explained and to make sense, essentially. And if it doesn't make sense or it's not explained, then it's a plot hole.
I feel like a lot of things were hidden.
I'd say those people never to read Lovecraft,
And for that matter, it's not a good idea to watch anime either because in that case because like from the beginning from like the sci-fi stuff, like it was never trying to be like realistic sci-fi or anything like that. Anime, it was always like let's make something that looks cool first and then add some themes over it, and then finally we can think about the logic at last. But the rule of cool and the themes come first usually, right? Because I think they basically think that the themes should come out of like a proper understanding of everything which happens, almost.
There is a ways to express a theme in fiction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't exactly say Lovecraft has no themes, but he makes a point of never explaining what the hell exactly is happening. So.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess in terms of memorable characters, I can also think of. I guess the Bomb Devil was nice, and I think that that was probably the moment that like the narrative made it very clear that Makima is evil. Like you shouldn't be on her side. I thought before that like maybe not. The story might take her side or not. Any other thoughts on her character, that arc as a whole? I guess. I mean, what was there a point? Like I guess and that was another thing which made that arc was another thing which made me feel like Denji's character was not really like I don't know, somebody in the, like when we think of a simp, like somebody in the friend zone or whatever, like who's like she's the one or whatever, that sort of mentality. Like I don't know. I mean, or maybe it still fits into that mentality because I don't know. To me, from the very beginning, though, it was pretty obvious that it was a honey trap. Did you guys have any doubts that yeah, this isn't going to go well? This woman is obviously well. I thought that yeah, I thought it was so it was either she was going to betray him, or she was going to die while trying to protect him or like getting involved because of his devil hunter shit and getting involved in some kind of it's like how in Devilman, like they introduce that that little girl, and yeah, and in the next scene, like she's on the head of that turtle devil, and he has to kill them. Did you feel like it was a yeah? No, go on.
No, go on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to.
Honestly, I don't care very much about her character. If you ask me about Makima, I care more about her planet and her power. Like, if you ask me what I like about Chainsawman, I'm more likely to name those two things rather than actual Makima, actual her character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you care about the powers so much, though, why don't you care about whether the powers make sense or not? Like all the time, because usually, the people who complain about style over substance, again, they're saying that basically the narrative is like to get the point across, like through stylistically, it's sacrificing things making sense.
Well, you can make your point across in a variety of ways. Like if in a painting you can't rely on developing your character, obviously, you know what I mean. But you can also always portray a relationship in a painting between two people.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you have to rely on style, basically.
Yeah. It's part of, I think style is part of it. I don't know about style over substance. I'm curious if Diogenes here is going to say that the Evil Darkness is an example of style over substance because it's not explained, but
So, Theory, I guess, what is it about, I guess, because, I don't know, I kind of feel like the powers should in some way try to be relevant to the character as well. Yeah.
I think your power makes sense. Like, I don't know what you mean by that. The actual power of the control devil, I totally makes sense.
No.
It's the devil men that are lacking information, right?
Yeah. What is your question?
No, you say that I don't care about the power making sense, but in her case, I think the control devil's power makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, like the little things, like how was Denji able to eat her, given that she has the power to come back to life every time that she's killed? Like that doesn't make sense, right?
Honestly, I don't remember that part, but if it's about the mechanics of the Devilman and the Devils and all that, I think those things will be retconned or changed in the sequel. I don't think we got the full story on those. But about her power to come back, about her contract, I don't know about that. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I guess you're right. Like the power does not necessarily have to be relevant to the. Anyway, let's see what Diogenes is saying. So, Diogenes is saying it looked cool. I like the aesthetic, but the reason why I didn't think it had substance was because the Darkness Devil had no build-up. His ability could be anything as long as it drove the point home that he is OP and not to mess with. I wished we got more from those kind of devils instead of reviving the hybrid devils to have them square up with Chainsawman. But like the good student said in chat previously, this feels like a prelude. We may see a more from Hell and devils like the Darkness Devil and Devil in the second.
Devil?
Sorry, what did you say?
How many chapters did it take?
To include like it didn't take that long for the Darkness Devil. I think it was just supposed to be a surprise or something
Yeah.
it was supposed to shock you like.
Not much. I just consider world building, showing us a different, powerful devil.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that too.
But it also reframes the world building because you are thinking in terms of stuff like the Fox Devil and stuff like that, for instance. That is monsters pretty understandable in a way. Let us say they just want to kill you and so on and so forth. But then there's stuff like the Darkness Devil around, you know.
Didn't he make like a contract with Santa Claus?
Yes, I think he does.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he shows up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like I thought of it more like he was disturbed, basically. Like there is this thing around that is doing his incomprehensible things, more or less, sort of like again Cthulhu, and you can feasibly exist in the universe without ever having to interact with it because he has interests and motivations that are beyond you. But obviously, if you go around messing with him, you will end up seeing like the spaceman suits playing full of dead corpses, and you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. I guess in terms of powers, so I thought that Halloween's power was a little bit overpowered. It wasn't explained well. Maybe that's a limit to how many times she can use it.
Yeah.
But like she could have defeated Makima, I think. It's just
Like, assuming no limitation, she was probably up there.
yeah. She could have just
I feel like Makima will know and will have some plan out of her ass.
yeah, out of her ass. That's a problem, I guess. So we basically have to rely on character stupidity. Essentially. Let's see.
Other things?
I actually think Makima is pretty smart. Like her plan actually was pretty good.
No, I was talking about the Halloween devil, not Makima herself. Yeah. Okay. So Dorgot says that Lovecraft had cool racial views. I don't know. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. He was also good at naming pets. I didn't know. Why? What did he name his pets? I don't know.
We can't say. We can say in 80s Christian.
I see. Okay. I see.
But he named his black cat.
I see. Okay. There's no need to say it on YouTube. YouTube is a Christian platform. We can't do it. It's not like
it's called some Christian platform. We can talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well.
We haven't talked about Lazy, or whatever you want to pronounce her name as. Lazy, the bomb girl.
Oh, the bomb girl.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I get like they don't explain properly what her relationship is with the gun devil. I think one character says that that she's the Gun Devil's partner, and yeah,
But she's also talking in Russian at that moment in time. So probably so she assumedly works for the Soviet Union. You know.
I see. Because another problem I had was sort of that it's sometimes not entirely clear what is it that the devils wanted from the devil. From Chainsawman. Sometimes did they just want his heart, were they sent there by somebody else? Especially before it became everybody's realized who the Chainsaw Man was, because it was at that point that after it became public, right, that all the different countries sent devil hunters against him, and again they sent devil hunters, not devil men or devils, just devils after devil hunter to get him. But I guess in the first few arcs it was more Denji as a devil hunter going for the devils, and the first time when it and I don't know. I guess some of the devils wanted to get back at him or something, because they knew about him. I imagine something like that, but it's not. It's I don't think it's clearly said.
The kind of power that Chainsaw Man has is a game changer. That is quite the point on the world building point of view. If you can erase concepts, you can erase the existence of your international rivals, basically, by suppose he erases the concept of communism, he collapses the Soviet Union. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there like a devil of communism? I don't know.
I would say there should be, given how many killed, but that's not up to me.
Well, apparently there was a Nazi devil because that's how he was able to forget them. So Diogenes in the chat says, good point, but I find CSM in general to have style of a substance. The example of Trip to Hell was an example, but you had the introduction of an insurmountable mountain, but the rest of the story didn't make better use of it by continuing to deliver more of that creativity. Instead, we got revival of former foes, which is lame in comparison of what we could have gotten.
Okay, this is a decent point. That he could have escalated the story and the stakes rather than going for the rivalries between characters already established. But I think this is because he wanted to complete the protagonist's character arc, basically. That was his objective for this part. Perhaps we'll get more of that ahead, you know.
So I guess Diogenes' complaint is a bit like, they literally went to hell, and what happened afterwards felt like a step down or something. Like it was.
Yeah. These I can't disagree. These I can't disagree with you. You could have had a story in which the stakes continued going up, basically. But in a way, stopping Machina was was going up in stakes in a way.
Yeah.
The emotional stakes were very very up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I guess it's more like after he went berserk, he just literally went to hell or whatever, and he just started killing the powerful demons left and right. So you get what I mean. It didn't feel as dangerous as when this devil showed up, I guess.
Those chapters in particular work very well with Doom Eternal music. I can confirm that.
Yeah. But I haven't played Doom Eternal, but from what I get, it's more it's like the demon, like people are not really, like the protagonist is not really like afraid of the demons or running away from them, but like he's just going around killing them. I guess. So it's more for like it's not horror. It's more like just seeing demons getting hacked to death or something. I don't know. um, like you couldn't have something like that happening in a Lovecraftian story, like the protagonist going and just killing the monsters left and right or something. I don't know.
By definition, it would stop being a Lovecraftian story because at that point, when you have punch Cthulhu in the face, he's not Cthulhu.
Yeah. But I guess you could say that it's a bit different in this case because the protagonist himself became one of the monsters, or something.
If you are Cthulhu, you can punch Cthulhu, obviously.
Okay. And I guess what about the revival of Former Force? Did that feel a bit cheap to you? Like where did she get this power? Whatever. Like this wasn't explained. Like why are they all like suddenly coming back to life as enemies? Or did that explain and I missed that she had that power to revive. That Makima had the power to revive.
In the moment, I supposed they weren't actually dead, but the dead was getting under control, basically, in some way, which is arguably isn't conveyed all that well, but
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of felt like Denji cannibalizing Makima was a good punch to end the story on. I don't know. Like, and I don't know, the random comedy in there with Kobeni.
Kind of redemption arc, basically, that she's forced down to do, more or less, as she's forced down to his gullet, more or less. And it is it was an interesting way to frame that.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess so again, like they argue in the chat, they're arguing about okay, so let's see what they're saying. The Chainsawman is has two. That is sufficient to write something more exciting. So CSM has cosmic horror elements. I mean, I guess it has, but it's not really horror. I mean, is it? I mean, other than that one scene with the Devil of Darkness.
Well, it is in a way it is a bit reframed because the characters we see are part of the order, basically, but they are still human in many ways. They are devilmen, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I couldn't help but thinking about the Devilman in Devilman a bit.
That conception is pretty much lifted up and recycled, but it was a good recycling. I think on the thematic in a thematic way, it did better than Go Nagai. It's because I sneed constantly at Go Nagai and its such as, so I'm not objective.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have to have a chat about the Devilman manga at some point, but because it's been a while since I read it.
Or the MMV, the movie.
There's a movie?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
There's several adapting various moments of the story.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like none of them cover the whole thing, so isn't it like a mess? I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter because it's still, the same thing.
George CS in the chat brings up Junji Ito. We could have a chat about Junji Ito.
Yeah, and Junji,
Yeah.
and Junji Ito is certainly horror, but
Yes.
is it cosmic horror again? I don't. Isn't it more like?
Uzumaki is pretty much like Lovecraft in manga form.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like the characters, the main characters here were like too powerful for this to be a horror anyway.
Yeah. It is part of horror is the empowerment of the character because you have to have them scared so that the audience can be scared too. But you can do this in various ways. Again, it's not like they were having a good time when the Darkest Devil came out.
I mean, it felt a bit like the end of Evangelion, a bit like you're not you're not made to be scared or something, but like it's more like look at all these trippy visuals, kind of feeling, I guess. Like what the fuck is going on? Blah,
It is, it is scary as a brick of the convention of the medium as you've seen up to now. Like you thought of devils in the context of again the fourth devil, the grand devil. Guys, you can Obviously, this guy represents all Gandets, all Gandets in the world, so he's pretty dangerous, but it's understandable. And then here comes Cthulhu.
So I guess probably I think what helped. So the main reason why this is different from something like Devilman or whatever, another manga, similar manga, I thought, or rather, why like it caught people's attention a lot was the first arc, with the Pochita thing.
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel like that was like cheap drama, whatever? Oh look, yet another anime character who is an orphan. Like they want to make us feel sorry for him. Again, like we haven't seen this 1,000 times. Or do you feel like they did something right there?
I don't think it was meant to be sad. I think it was meant to be relatable. Not this necessarily, but the initial state of Denji.
Yeah.
I mean,
more or less.
Is it relatable? I mean, he was like how many millions of yen in debt, and he didn't have a testicle.
You can frame it as depression and saying like it feels like a million of years have passed and so on and so forth.
So
it is relatable in indirect way.
So basically, like this guy is just like because like I've heard like anime criticized for like not being able to like do stuff like PTSD and depression or whatever, because when they try to do that, it always ends up being like the kind of depression that like teenagers in school, like the audience essentially.
Yes.
The audience feels. So I guess this is like
you don't want to alienate your audience.
So basically, this is like the depression that the audience feels, but like with a legitimate reason, with more legitimate reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. What else is there to say? I guess. I guess there's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, nothing. Go on.
Speaking of the first arc, I guess there's Pochita's character, which I thought, the little dog thing with the chainsaw, which I thought might play a bigger role, like a lot of anime, like Parasite, for example, like where like the protagonist's hand is like a different being, and there's like a like they have to work together or something. But that wasn't there here. They basically, Pochita kind of died essentially. I mean, not. I guess it lived inside the dreams of the main character, and another thing which was introduced in the first. Yeah.
They did join. I mean,
Um, uh, yeah. So another thing which was introduced here was I think it was in the first arc, maybe a little bit later that there's a door in Denji's heart that it shouldn't be opened, guys. I don't know, like when it was revealed that I don't know, it was something like Denji killed his father or something. I didn't feel like it was such a big deal to the audience or to Denji, really.
I like that it didn't make a big deal out of it.
But if they weren't going to make a big deal out of it anyway, like why set up these mystery bots about what's behind that door? Like what has that got to do with Makima's plans? Has it got to do something with Makima's plans or not? I guess it had, in the sense that Makima wanted to use that. You also used that fact to try to demoralize him. I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't like a big, huge reveal. I guess.
It sort of evolves as a team in the successive, in the following themes of the work. Basically, like it's used as a foundation for what comes later, more or less.
No.
But in itself, it doesn't. It doesn't. In itself, it doesn't. It isn't a big deal.
So we are all used to anime, so I don't think it bothered us as much. But I guess one possible criticism is like this guy has literally got a fucking chainsaw coming out of his, like he said it's a chainsaw. His hands are chainsaw. I'm like, how can you take this seriously? I guess it's a possible criticism, because if at least if it was like something like a vampire or something, like people already have an idea about like what that is. So but I guess
I think
yeah,
as an aesthetic choice, I think it links with modern like internet horror and stuff like that. It's the kind of stuff you see in a creepypasta, basically.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
So it is in a way it is an attempt to modernize a bit the medium, but yeah.
And another thing which I kind of felt was that, like thematically speaking, there wasn't really a reason why the Chainsaw Devil in particular had to be the most powerful one, or why like his power had to be like being able to erase.
Yeah, you could have the gunman and have the same premise, and it would have worked in the same way. It's
like with the Devil of Domination, it made sense that thematically that she had to like feel superior to someone in order to dominate them.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's like it's not really explained why why the chainsaw devil in particular.
Yeah, you mean like the symbology of the chainsaw?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. It could easily be the same power to like gunman or to Scissorhand or to Eraser Man, something like that, But I think he just the author just just came up with a sketch of Chainsaw Man and said, "Well, I've got this cool sketch for this cool character concept. Let's work him into a story." I think it started I think it's because it started like that.
No, I expect explanation in the sequel. And I better be good.
Huh? Sorry?
What did you say?
I said I expect an explanation in the sequel. And it better be good.
hopefully, hopefully, will be.
Hopefully, yeah. But I don't want everything explained in the sequel. Like, if they leave the Darkness Evil, for instance, unexplained, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Mhm. Okay. What, by the way, was that called the Darkness Devil or the Hell Devil? I can't remember.
There are two different
Darkness
devils.
Devil.
There is the Hell Devil, the centaur looking one.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so there's separate ones. I see. I guess. So when I was reading the manga, I said in the chat that I kind of liked Beam, the Shark Devil. It's a pity that they killed him early on. And it was also implied that he knew something, but I think he died before. I think he basically knew Makima's plan, probably somehow. That's not it. It's not explained why he knows. I guess Makima must have told him for some reason.
Or he just knows things, you know.
Yeah,
These powers are explained.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What? Yeah. Go on.
I think we covered most of the stuff.
Yeah. I think most of the stuff. Yeah. It's a nice manga. I think it's time to give scores, I guess.
Okay.
So let's start with you, Tudy.
What? Score?
Yeah.
8 out of 10. I think it presents itself as simple, but it actually has some depth.
Okay. And what about you, thoughts?
Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Solid entry. Nice stuff. A bit a step up most shonens, but still in the context of shonens, so on and so forth. Nice. I liked many of the characters. I sort of appreciated the intrusion of Lovecraftian horror, and I didn't hate the freaking world building. It was a bit sketched, but it was fine to me. 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I guess for the world building, there's also kind of an I think it's kind of a bias when it comes to me, but I kind of like it when you have supernatural elements in an urban setting, like in a modern urban setting, not like a fucking isekai.
Yeah.
It's like it's always silly that like a lot of the time, like like in Fate Zero, like there's a huge fucking kaiju, but then no, but no, guys, that was just an explosion. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that middle ground. Is that the right word, by the way? Urban fantasy for that.
Yes, I think you can call that kind of stuff urban fantasy.
Yes.
And so basically, I didn't dislike the setting here because I don't know, like when a lot of the time when people go full fantasy, just like and try to build a setting ground up, it can kind of end up feeling empty. I don't know, somehow. As opposed to a city. So, but that's just a subjective thing. So I want to. I don't really mind that. I don't mind the rule of cool that much. I mean, I like Gainax stuff, and Gainax is basically rule of cool. I mean, they do explain some stuff, but there's a lot of rule of cool, so I don't really mind it that much. So
I think like stuff, various level of stuff of explanation has its place. Like if you can convey it well, you can do a series based on explaining your convoluted magic bullshit. But it's not something that should be done in everything, in every work.
So yeah, and I mean this is shonen, and the audience is supposed to be like 14-year olds or whatever. So so Daogen is in the chat. He's basically saying that to sum it up, I think he's saying that basically he wanted the author to make it possible for us to be able to basically role play as the Devil of Darkness. So basically, like give us the stats. What can he do? What can he do? What can't he do? And everything. I don't know.
You can play Call of Cthulhu, and you will not have statistics for Cthulhu because it's beside the point.
I guess it's the argument that it's more interesting when you know the limitations, but and I get that. To be honest, I didn't really. I just thought that when it comes to that particular scene, I just thought that the visuals looked cool.
What I wanted to say is that we didn't actually talk a lot about the actual plot, like the actual plan of Makima.
Makima's plan, well, I mean, so she wanted to either be dominated by the chains.
No, I mean to make Denji feel safe and happy, and tend to destroy, to ruin him and make him break his contract with Pochita.
Yeah. It's not explained how she knows the contract, but yeah, that was basically her plan. She somehow knew that was the contract with Pochita. And I don't know, like, did everything go to her plan, or like couldn't Power and Aki have died earlier on? But like, was she just lucky that Aki and
them that early on, like they fought a lot in the early chapters.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that those characters could have died at any point before Makima getting a chance to kill them.
I suppose it was besides the point. If they had died, she would have used someone else or something like that.
Yeah,
when you have the power to console anyone that you feel superior to, and you feel superior to basically everyone, you can. You have permission to improvise, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, her plan was pretty self-explanatory. I kind of felt she basically just did the evil villain speech, right?
More or less, yes.
So, what else do you want to say about that plan, Duty?
What?
What else do you want to say about the plan? About
Nothing. Never mind. I just wanted to point out that we didn't talk about the actual plot of the story. I actually like her as a villain. I'd put her in the top 10 villains in manga.
I mean, but by the plot, do you mean like we should have gone like arc by arc, like what happened in this arc, or something like that?
It's fine. It's fine. Sorry, it's fine. I said.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify what you meant. That's all. And I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it something that Daogen is said in the chat?
No, go.
Yeah. As for my score, I would give it a. Let me think. A 7.5 out of 10. I don't know, like for it to be an 8, like I would give something like Gunbuster an 8, I would say, because it's more totally rule of cool to the point where like I don't care as much about the plot, I guess, or maybe I'm just biased because it's Gynet, so I can't forgive it. And it's space and robots. Okay. Let's stop there. Yeah, so a 7.5. Let's see what Diogenes has to say. Yeah, so 2D here you say that you don't see the darkness devil throwing hands fighting physically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, why were you surprised that Makima fought kind of normally at the end?
Because like I didn't expect such a high level devil to fight like hand to hand with Denji. I expected her to use her power. Like you remember how what she did to power with when he had a cake in her hand.
Yeah, basically you thought that she would just flick her fingers or whatever at him and kill him that
That's
way.
what I expected. But I think if she fought him to demonstrate that she is superior to him.
Yes, I think that was the point in there.
So, like, for Dajunis replies, like, them to the arrogance in those shenanigans is what places them at the top of the food chain in hell. But they were more like the darkness devil. It's been a while, but they were called devils like him. They called devils like him primal fears. I think maybe they did. I can't remember. Yeah. Also, I don't know. So 2D here in the chats, you say that you expect a lot from the sequel.
No, I expect a lot of those shenanigans, of more powers like the darkness devils and Makima had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess
Them to fight hand to hand in the sequel that much.
it's going to become Dragon Ball Z. What did you say, Fox?
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. Yeah, I think we have basically covered everything that I had in mind. We mostly talk about the characters. I mean, about the plot. I mean, how could you talk? Anyway, let's stop the stream now. That's yeah. So thank you for listening, and bye bye if you're still